work for the welfare of the village so that the village became pleasant to live in. This is quite obvious. However, their life was not so smooth because in the old days, they were bad guys in the village. They drank, they got drunk, they killed animals, hunting, fishing, and did acts of violence and so on, so that they were disciplined by the headman, and in order to be free from this disciplinary action, they had to bribe the headman. In some countries, if you bribe, you become free from this disciplinary action. You're freed. Now, they have become good people, good young people, and understanding that things are to be abstained, they abstain. Understanding things that we observe, they observe, so that they become good people, working for the welfare of the many. They refrain from doing unwholesome things, and the result is that they did not bribe the headman anymore. Headman did not get any bribe at all anymore. So if one does not get things, usual things, then of course one will have different behavior. One will become different. So consequently, the headman reported to the king. Give a wrong report, saying that these young people were bad fellows in the village. They're doing acts of violence and so on. And this way, he complained to the king.
Masaya when you make it sit on the Karaka, Mida group of people.
Now, as for the king, he didn't make any inquiries whether the information was correct or not. So he gave orders that all these Maga and 33 young men be trampled and killed by the elephant. Maga was not afraid of this because he was living a good life. So though anybody who lives a good life will not be afraid of death, is sure about it. Because he was practicing metta, cultivating metta all the time. And he also admonished his companions to practice metta, cultivate metta, and to remember their moralities, sila. And then to cultivate metta, send metta to the three, namely headman, the king, and the elephant, which is going to trample on them. As much as one wishes, as much as they wish themselves to be to be well, as much as they wish for their own welfare, they also send metta to wishing well for these three things, the headman, the king, and the elephant, the animal. So in this way he admonished his companions, the three companions, in order to be able to cultivate metta and wish for their welfare. Consequently, the 33 companions did so, because there was nothing else to depend on. So they just practiced intensively this loving kindness, metta. The power of metta was very great. The elephant which was going to trample on them, instead of trampling on them, it ran away, crying, one after another. So the king brought one elephant after another to kill them, and one after another the elephants ran away from them instead of killing them. So this was quite strange. Now such strange things also happen in the Western Christian communities. From the stories we heard, that because of the metta, loving kindness of the Christian missionaries, even if they were pushed into the place of wild animals, animals became friendly, and they were not killed by these wild animals. Such is the power of metta.
Ikama being a Tuzanira Troma, Sizwango, a song of Chili, Shajalu, a Mikiro, Shavi Melu, Sizwango, a song of Leve, Truma, Misivo, Tuya. Mandara Shili me Liga Sanya, Liga Kama, Magali Mega, Mandara Shijong,
Strange that the king asked his deputies to investigate what was the reason, whether they had some powerful medicines or things like that in their possession. Although they searched for it, nothing was found. And he also asked whether they had this mantra, recitations of verses. And at that, young Maga answered in affirmative.
Mandara Kuki, Ramia Buguria, Siwaka, Hikajara Bobo, Shikidegua, Mandara, Hichakere, Taragaria, Yalua. Tirashimianga, Alo Kovia Boy, through Mandara Yokhema, ပြောစားဆိုပြီးတော့ဘဂလူတွေကကျွန်တော်တို့ကတခြားမန္တရာတော့မရှိပါဘူးတဲ့အများကယူရွှေမန္တရာတွေပေါ့ဒီကလာအိုမနိပတမိဟုံးတို့ဘာလို့ညာတို့ပေါ့ဒီတော့အဲ့ဒါလိုရွဖတ်ရတဲ့မန္တရာမျိုးတော့မရှိပါဘူးတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့အားလုံးသူ့တဲ့မတတ်ဘူးလေသူ့စာမခိုးဘူးတဲ့သူများသားမယားဟုတ်ထင်းသူမခင်းတာတွေပေါ့အပိုင်နဲ့ကာမကိစ္စတွေမကျင့်လို့ဘူးလေမပြောဘူးတဲ့အရက်မတော့ဘူးတဲ့ဒါနဖို့ပြုတယ်အများချမ်းသာအောင်ပေါ့ဒီကြည့်တယ်အများချမ်းသာအောင်မေတ္တာပွားတယ်လမ်းပြည်ကြီးတန်တူးခြင်းဆရာဒီကိုဆရာဆောက်ခြင်းစသည်ပေါ့ဒီမူအားလုံးပဲမန္တရာလို့လည်းဆိုရပါတယ်တဲ့အယံအတ္တပရိတ္တလို့လည်းပဲချမ်းသာလို့လည်းဖြစ်နေပါတယ်လို့ပြောသူကရှင်းပြီးတော့ပြပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါကြည့်တော့အခုခေတ်လူကြီးရွတ်နေတဲ့မန္တရာနဲ့လက်တွေ့ကြတဲ့မန္တရာပေါ့ဒီရှင်းပြီးတော့ကြည့်ကြလို့ပါလား
Then though they searched for some qualities they did not find in Magga, and when they asked the mantra, and Magga answered in affirmative. And this now about mantra, this is very popular as much as in the present times, recitation or chanting by some people in order to drive away unwholesome things or to become wholesome, to have blessings of them, and so on. This was an example. The king called all of them and asked for this mantra, what kind of mantra it was. At that time Magga answered, the mantra was none other than there's no such thing as mantra. It was none other than our practice of morality, which abstaining from killing, stealing, taking misconduct, lying, taking intoxicants. Instead, they perform dana, acts of generosity, help others, wishing for others' welfare, cultivating metta, and did welfare work such as repairing roads, building bridges, and so on. So this is the mantra. This was the mantra which may be called mantra or parita, also the protection, chanting. So you can just compare the kind of chanting that we do in the present times with the pragmatic mantra which Magga and his 33 followers possessed and practiced.
လူရအများအဖြစ်လက်တွေ့ကြတဲ့မန္တရာမေ့ကြပါလေလက်တွေ့ကြတဲ့အယံအတ္တပရိတ္တဆိုတာမေ့ကြပါလေဒီမန္တရာဟာသိချရောက်တာဒီလိုမန္တရာနဲ့ပရိတ္တဖြစ်ပေါ်လာရတာကတော့ခုနစောစောကပြောတဲ့အတိုင်းအပ္ပမာဒဆိုတာပါအပ္ပမာဒဆိုတာဒီရထိတဲ့နိနာမဲ့အပြုအမူမျိုးတွေပေါ့ဒါရှောင်ကျင်တဲ့ချက်ကြီးပဲဆိုတာပေါ့ရှောင်ကျင်ဖို့ဝတရားမပြတ်ပတ်တာလက်တွေ့ကြကြလည်းပဲရှောင်တာရှောင်တော့အပြစ်ကျင့်တာပေါ့ပြီးတော့ဆောက်ပွားတဲ့အရာကြီးအများကောင်းကျိုးပြုတဲ့အရာကြီးသိက္ခာရှင်ပြည့်ခြင်းမေတ္တာပွားခြင်းရည်ရည်ကတူးခြင်းတရားဆောက်ခြင်းစသည်ပေါ့ဒီမှာဖြစ်ပွားစေခြင်းတဲ့အရာတွေဒီကောင်းကျိုးပြုတဲ့အရာတွေလူတွေကိုချမ်းသာအောင်လို့ကူညီတဲ့အလုပ်တွေခုနလူတွေမဆင်းရအောင်လို့ရှောင်ကျဉ်တဲ့ချက်ကြီးကြောင်းလို့ပေါ့လေကူညီတဲ့ချက်ကြီးချမ်းသာအောင်ပြုလုပ်တဲ့ချက်ကြီးလည်းဆောင်ရွက်ဖို့မဖြစ်ခွင့်တဲ့အပမာဒသမဘာဒတဲ့အရေးခံပြီးတော့ခုနသူတို့ကအမှန်တရားထိရောက်တဲ့မရွတ်ရမဖတ်ရပဲနဲ့တဘာဝကြတဲ့လက်တွေ့ကြတဲ့မန္တရာတွေပြိတ္တာတွေဖြစ်လာတယ်အဲဒါလုံဆုံးလို့သူတို့ကသိကောင်းတာပဲအဲတော့ကိုယ်ဆောက်ရှောက်တော့ကိုယ်မြင်သွားရအောင်ဆောက်ရှောက်တော့သူတို့ကလည်းမထိခိုက်ရအောင်ကျ China Tanasi Shiro, Social. Social in Luna, losing doing Kona Unita Nova Kili, Amana Suwari, Lower Doda Moha, Yandi Liga, Lulani, Social. Social Lulani, each of Mujani, Edro Chini Sell, you the Bukuha. In Chami or what you in Chami, Johnny, or people. You think in any other. Any senior will be a deal, the other thing you got, I think I have you are whatever to a Paisapi later. You don't do what they see, you never keep it. For mobile, Yachana, Pillow Yipa. Okay, got what is Yenu Badu, Yenu, Colombo, Yanya, you can look now to be through the Chanda, do the Chanda, the Picona, the Druha, I'm not singing it, watching it. Your body look at the social.
The majority of people forget to practice the pragmatic parita or pragmatic mantra, which are effective, very effective. And such is none other than apamara, diligence or non-failure, non-negligence. Non-failure in abstaining what should be abstained so as not to cause suffering to others, and diligence and observing what should be observed, such as cultivating metta, working for the welfare of others. In this way, others are happy and others are assisted, others are helped, and not forgetting, not failing to do these things is apamara. So based on apamara, instead of chanting all these recitations, verses, mantras and so on, mantra and paritas, one can become secure, and if by safeguarding oneself on ethical level, safeguarding oneself or self-protection, safeguard others, and also safeguarding others, one safeguards oneself. In this way, one becomes secure. Secure means one becomes free from the bondage of these afflictive states, namely greed, hatred, and delusion. And this can lead to peace of mind, which is the cause for happiness of one's life. So, Magga and the 33 followers were very happy, they were quite satisfied, as much as the king. The king was also very happy, satisfied with their behaviors. So instead of punishing them, he gave the whole village to them for themselves, and also other necessities, necessary equipment in order to be able to do welfare works such as building bridges, making roads, and so on. So in this way, they were helped by the king so that they could carry on with the welfare works. So their life becomes quite smooth, and they are said to be quite happy, and they are able to lead a very happy life as a result of this apamara.
Guru Sita Ponzo Dima Duzi, a similar liquid Rita Bhavana Diari Atoniara. The Sotaving of Yoga, liquid Jari Mantra ne Parita Tiki Timpini. Atolu Tamaridu Yanduri Yagavi Solution Pedro Kama Talu Shalu Pudu. စိတ်စသည်ပေါ့ဒီမှာဘုရားအမြဲတစေပေါ့ဒီတရှိစင်ကြတဲ့စိတ်ကြီးဖြစ်ပြီးတော့အလိမ္မာတွေတိတိကျကျဖြစ်လာပါအဲ့ဒီခါကျလို့ရှိရင်တောကကင်းဤချမ်းကြီးဆိုတာပေါ့ဖြစ်လာပါတကူကြီးကျင့်ရင်တကူကြီးတောကကင်းဤချမ်းကြီးရပါပါပဲသူမိကရေးတဲ့ဒီကံကြီးဆိုတောကကင်းဒီထိုင်ရေးဆိုတာတပွဲတို့ပါသူကမိချင်းပြီးတိတ်ပြီးတော့လည်းအခြေခံကြတယ်လက်တွေလည်းလည်းကြပါတယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီတော့တောကကင်းတော့ဤချမ်းကနေနေတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေဟာအခုစိတ်ဓာတ်ပုံရဲ့ဒီမှာတွေးခြင်းနဲ့အရှင်းနဲ့တရားတွေပေါ့ပြည့်စုံကျင့်လောက်တဲ့ဒီအထုပ်ကြီးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကိုကျင့်တရားတွေဟာကိုကျင့်တရားလို့ခေါ်ရတဲ့မန္တရာတွေကတိတ်တက်လာတိတ်အားဖြစ်လာကိုကျင့်တရားခေါ်တဲ့ပြိဋ္ဌာအကာအကွယ်တွေဟာပေါ့ပိုးပြီးတော့အကာအကွယ်ကြီးကောင်းလာတာဒါသိကြပါလိမ့်မယ်ဒါကြောင့်ဘုရားတို့ဟာအဲ့ဒီတကယ်လက်တွေ့ကြတဲ့အခြေခံကြတဲ့မန္တရာနဲ့ပြိဋ္ဌာကိုအားရှိအောင်လို့တိတ်ကြီးတင်ပြနေတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တွေပါဆိုတာပေါ့ကိုယ့်အကူအယုံပြုပြီးတော့နားလည်းဝတ်တော်မျိုးဖြစ်ကြလို့ပါပဲ
was upgraded, and this practice of Satipatthana, the way of mindfulness, high level discipline, which cultivates mind and insight, is said to be dignifying or qualifying is mantra and paritas, mantra and paritas. In the course of the practice, or as a result of the practice, cultivating concentration and insight, one will never commit unwholesome deeds such as killing, stealing, sacrifice, contact, and so on. So that one's behaviors will become pure, impeccable, and affable, and will be able to live a life without worries. What Dale Carnegie has written about living a life without worries is just temporary or provisional, not permanent. A permanent thing, to live a permanent life without worry, is to practice this high level discipline on the way of mindfulness, which can cultivate mind and knowledge. So that these moralities or behaviors, wholesome behaviors, in the form of mantra, or mantra and paritas in the form of wholesome behaviors, apamada, gives the real protection. Therefore, this practice of the way of mindfulness is qualifying or dignifying the so-called mantra and parita. And knowing this, we should all be happy. ဒုက္ခကေဝေဤကြရင်နဲ့ဆက်ပြီးတော့ဘုရားကပုဂ္ဂိုလ်၄မျိုးခွဲပြီးတော့ဟောခဲ့ပါတယ်။အဲဒီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်၄မျိုးကတော့တိကိုရိုးတာကျင့်တယ်။နှစ်သူတော်ဘာအကျိုးကိုသာကျင့်တယ်။သုံးကိုရိုးသူရိုးနှမျိုးကျင့်တယ်လေ။လေးနှမျိုးလုံးမကျင့်ဘူးလို့In connection with this subject of living a life without worry, the Buddha has given 4 kinds of individuals. Namely, the first one is practicing for one's own welfare. Secondly, the one who practices for the welfare of others. Thirdly, one who practices for the welfare of both oneself and others. And fourthly, not practicing at all for anybody, neither for himself, herself, or others. အဲဒီပုဂ္ဂိုလ်၄မျိုးတွေကနံပါတ်1ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကတော့ဥစ္စာစသည်ပေါ့ပြည့်စုံနေတဲ့ပြည့်စုံတယ်ဖြစ်နေပါတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့လို့စိတ်ချမ်းသာပျော်ရွှင်မှုကတော့အပြည့်အဝရလိမ့်မယ်မဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတော့သိကြပါလေနံပါတ်2ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကတော့
ကိုကျိုးမကျင်တော့မိမိအကျိုးအတွက်ဒုက္ခဖြစ်ရသေးတယ်ဟုတ်ဒါလည်းပဲမပြည့်စုံဘူးဒီမျိုးလုံးကျင်းတဲ့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်မှာတော့ဒုက္ခတွေကျင်းပြီးတော့သိချမ်းသူပဲဖြစ်နေပါတယ်ခုနစောစောကပြောခဲ့တဲ့မကလူတွေလို့ပုရှိကိုပေါ့ကိုယူလည်းကျင်းတယ်သူတစ်ပါးလူလည်းကျင်းတယ်ကျင်းတော့သူတို့မှာဒုက္ခတွေကျင်းပြီးတော့သိချမ်းမှုကြီးရလိုက်တာသိကောင်းတာပဲဒါတော့နောက်ဆုံး၄ခုမြောက်ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကတော့လောကမှာဆုံးရှုံးတဲ့ဒီပြောဖြစ်ပါတယ်အများကျိုးအရှင်ဆောင်ရွက်ပြီးပါတော့အများရဲ့ချစ်ခင်လေးစားခြင်းနံပါတ်1နံပါတ်3ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကတော့ရတယ်
These four kinds of individuals, the first one who works for his or her own welfare, he or she may be fulfilled with the wealth, material wealth, but as regards the mind, he or she will not be happy, and he or she will not have complete happiness, peace and happiness. As for the second person, namely the one who practices for the welfare of others only, not himself or herself, since he or she will not be able to fulfill his or her welfare, he will not be complete. As for the third kind of person, the one who practices for the welfare of both, namely for oneself and others, will have real complete peace of mind. Like in the case of Magga and his companions, they work for their own welfare, that is practice sila, dana and so on. At the same time, work for the welfare of others by performing welfare works of the village and so on. They achieve peace and happiness. As for the fourth one, not doing anything not for oneself or others, not doing anything at all, not for the welfare of anybody, will suffer loss in his or her life.
မတော်ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်ကတော့ကိုယ်မှလည်းပဲကုသိုလ်တရားတွေနဲ့ပြည့်စုံသူတစ်ပါးအကျိုးလည်းရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့အများရဲ့ချစ်ခင်လေးစားခြင်းခံရရင်လည်းမကပါဘူးမိမိရဲ့ကအပြစ်ကင်းတဲ့အပြုအမူများကိုပေါ့ကြံပြီးပြီးတော့သုံးသပ်ကြည့်တဲ့အခါမှာ